Hey guys, Crysta here, Litter Glitter. I am a furniture artist out of Berry, Texas. Wanted to come to you with you guys today and let's talk about Pro Stick. So what is Pro Stick? Pro Stick is a adhesive bond. So today I've got both formulas, both colors. They're the same formula, just different color. And I also have two different pieces of furniture. So I'm going to be talking about why one would be better than the other when you're dealing with your colors on what you should be using. So I've got this piece my husband picked up at a thrift store. Real quick pro tip: if you have a piece of furniture, can you see that it's got legs down here? It's not like a big flat surface. Okay, so you got these peg legs. So under this piece, I've got these underneath of it, individuals. You can pick these up at Harbor Freight really inexpensively. And this is the best way to have these, is on those little. Hello, Sue. My girl Sue's on. Milo and Picasso. Cat is on. Hey, Cat. And so just a little pro tip on the side there. So this, as you can see, it's been painted before. And it's not bad. I didn't see any drips or anything. There's some places where it's flaked off from normal wear and tear. I'm not really too worried about that. So I'm going to but it is very slick. It's very slick. So what I'm going to be doing on this one is I am going to be using my Pro Stick in white on this piece. And I'm going to show you why. Now I could use gray as well, but white is your typical, and you will get more use out of your white than you will your gray. And I'm going to show you why. So before I even start, let me show you these. My husband picked up two of these, one for me and one for Sue. When Sue is here, Sue's flying in May 1st. So excited. And so Sue's going to be here. And so we needed stuff to work on. So my husband picked us up each a jewelry box, exactly the same. They're brand new. Still got the stuffies in them. And, but it's white and it's very, very slick. So let me just show you what happens if I were to use white on this thing. And I'm not going to be pro sticking this whole thing today because I'm going to be working on this. So this is my Pro Stick in white. Now, if you're working on like an IKEA piece of furniture or something like that, and you do the white, can you see the white? Because I put white on there. Can you see the white? Barely. So it would be very, very easy for you to lose your place. So I'm going to stick that there because I don't want to stick that into my gray. So look, you can see where it's wet. You can see, yeah, so that's white on top of that. Now, if I were to use my gray, hello, Renee. Renee with two chatty chicks. So, but if I were to use my gray on this white, I will very easily be able to see where I have my Pro Stick on it, and I won't lose my place. Huge difference if you are using white. So that's right off the bat. I could end my video here. That's why you have Pro Stick in two colors. You got your white and your gray. I prefer my white on pieces that are darker, and you will get more use out of this. If you are painting a lot of like the IKEA furniture or, you know, white furniture for the French Provincial that is painted in white, then by all means, when you order it, get the gray because you'll get more use out of the gray. I find that I get more use out of the white, except for now that I've got these. So I'm going to set this off to the side. I am going to ask my son to come in from the other room. Hey, yeah. Can you come and grab this brush and rinse it for me? Pro Stick cleans up with soap and water. And it's very easy to do. Since I'm going to be on here for a few minutes, I just don't want this to sit. And I didn't bring a thing of water to stick this thing down into. So I'm going to get Austin, my shop assistant. There you go. Thank you, bud. Good catch. Ha! To go clean that out for me while I'm live. And see, on this one, if I'm using my white, it's very, very easy for me to see with the white where I got my Pro Stick. So, and my other studio helper is in here. Ford is over there chewing on his bone. I don't know if you guys can see him on camera because I'm not looking. But he is right off. He's right there. He's chewing on his bone. There he is. There's the baby. So as always, I've got my studio assistant in here. Renee says that she loves the Pro Stick. Kat says hi, Austin.
Hello.
He says hello. So he's off work today, hanging out here with me.
Hey.
Huh? Toss. Ha ha! Hands like a ninja.
Not really.
Hey! So we've got him in here as well. Renee says, oh my gosh, Ford's getting so big. Yes, Austin is my tech guy. Renee says she loves the Pro Stick. So, and what this does is that this will create a bond between your paint and the surface of what you're painting. That way, you will not have it peel and flake off. So, if you want to also, as always, you've heard me say this before, you can always use your mud, the Jeff's Original Swamp Mud by Miss Lillian's. That is a great product as well if you want texture. So one thing you can do, just to show you guys real quick, because on this I don't want texture. I plan on using some transfers and some other stuff on this. And what you can do, if you do want a little bit of texture, you can dab it on. You can just do your little tap, tap, tappy, and you can get a little bit of texture. This, I do not want texture, and that's, if you want a lot of texture, you can use your Jeff's Original Swamp Mud. And you can also add Texture Magic to either, I honestly wouldn't recommend adding Texture Magic to your Pro Stick. What I would do is add your Texture Magic into your paint. So, but if you wanted a lot of texture, you could do this with Jeff's Swamp Mud and then add your Texture Magic into your paint. So we are moving right along, and I'm not going to do the front of this on camera just because if you are following me, I planted my garden, and I'm still working in my garden, and I was working in my garden before I went live, and I forgot to take the hardware off the front, and I don't want to Pro Stick my hardware because I think I'm going to just change it. If I believe that I am going to change my hardware, what I do is I will take it off, paint my piece, and if I want to keep the same hardware at that point, I can just Pro Stick it then and then paint it. I don't like to Pro Stick my hardware first or while I'm doing my prep phase, just because if I decide, you know, well, I wish I had the original hardware, it's going to be extremely, trust me. Don't ask me how I know. I just know, just believe me when I say that it is going to be extremely hard to get Pro Stick off of your metal hardware. So, hey, Jesse. Hey, Chastity. Chastity to group, Junkin Jones gang out of Jackson, Tennessee. Hey, Hey, Chastity. And so it is very, very difficult to get your Pro Stick off of your hardware if you were to Pro Stick it first. So me running around in my garden, I did not take the hardware off of the front. And so as I'm sitting here, I'm going, oh no. And I like to do 2 coats of Pro Stick. Some people just do 1. I think that 1 is fine for most pieces. Me, I just know that when I do something, I want to make sure it sticks. So I personally do 2 coats. And that is going to be up to your personal preference. Also, I am a very thin painter. If you are a thick painter, then 1 coat should be more than enough for you. Me, I am a thin painter, and that's why I do 2 coats, because I want to make sure that I hit all of my little nooks and crannies. I sound like that English muffin commercials, all the little nooks and crannies. Anyway, so in just a matter of a few minutes, we got the side, and you can see the front of this baby. Get this over there. I can kind of do a little bit of the front, but I am definitely not going to be hitting anywhere around my hardware. So if you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. We will get to them. We've got some amazing ladies. Sue, Renee, Chastity are all here. They will be absolutely. Chastity says she does thin coats as well. Renee says that thin is better. Renee says, I love your tips about the Ziploc bag, the Ziploc for the doors and drawers. That was so cool. Okay, so the zip ties. The zip ties, yes. So once I take, for those of you that didn't see that, let me see. These are older, and I can just, hopefully, maybe I can screw these off so I can tell you guys what Renee was talking about. If you didn't see that, since she brought up that little tip, I'll bring it to you now. What I do is I will take my hardware off, and then I don't know where my zip ties are, but you take zip ties and you put them through the holes, and you make sure that the fat side of the zip tie is inside the drawer. Run it through, flip it back around, and zip it. So when you're trying to paint, actually, you know what? I'm still working on my husband's piece because what I ordered for it is still not in. Not happy about that, but I'll flip you guys around and show you that. So wasn't planning on this, but hey, you said it. So there it is. It's still sitting there. As you can see, my zip ties are here. And if I hit it with paint, I hit it with paint. Not a big deal. I just cut them out. But now, you know, I've got something. Well, I'm off to the side, guys. I can't really grab it, but I've got something that I can grab on both sides to pull the drawers out. So that's what Renee meant when she said the zip tie. So let me get you guys back over here. And so that's what I will do. Let me see if I can get this one off real quick. And it looks like I can. It's just finger tight. And after I get off of here, I will grab some zip ties and put them in. So now that the drawer's out, I can just pro stick it with you guys. Let's see here. Anne says Whiskey is trying to play with Sadie. Renee says, oh, I can't wait. Please don't let me miss the live. Going to be a kick butt piece. Kat says, good idea. Zip tie tip is awesome. Great tip. Cute chest. Thank you. Reimagine Services here. So Kathy's here as well. So if you have any questions, we have got some amazing talent and knowledge in this group. We've got Renee. We've got Chastity's in here. Now we've got Kathy. We've got Sue. So if I can't, or if I miss your question, then absolutely they will be here. Again, your Pro Stick is water, clean up with soap and water, and it's really easy to do. I do not recommend some people, and even when I'm painting, if I know that I'm coming back, I will take my brush and I will put it in a Ziploc bag with a little spritz of water. I do not recommend that for when I'm pro sticking, just because this is very, very sticky. It is clean up with soap and water. And we want to make sure that if you're using a good brush, that you're not going to mess it up with the point that you got to throw it out, because, you know, supplies are expensive and you want to get the most of it out of everything that you purchase that you can. So, and I like to put it on in little sections and then go back with long strokes because you will be painting over this. Now, if you want to, you can use a chip brush for doing this. It will be a little bit, because this will self-level a little bit. You can use a chip brush. If you use a chip brush just because you just want to throw it out, know that if you get really deep ridges because you're using a chip brush instead of a good brush, you can always go back and lightly sand it. So that is not going to be an issue. And since I just pro stick that, let me just go ahead and take that out so I can get around the frame. Oh, and when I moved my drawer, I missed a spot. I saw it in one of the little indentations. So give me just a second to fix my error. Now, if you're just coming on or you joined late, I'm going to recap. What I did earlier is that I was talking about the different furniture. And my husband, Sue's coming May 1st for the Waco Crafting Convention. She's flying out the 1st. The convention is the 5th, 6th, and 7th. And Sue and I will be at the Waco Crafting Convention. So we need pieces to work on. Well, my husband found us these jewelry boxes. Well, if you missed the beginning of the video, I was talking about why the different colors. There is actually white pro stick right here. And you can't see it, but that's one swipe, real quick swipe of the gray. So that's what I was showing you guys, is that if you're using a white piece of furniture, it would be easier if you used the gray pro stick because you'll be able to see where you're at on your piece. You're not going to lose where you are. And for me, since this piece is already painted, it would be very easy for me to use your white. So again, if you are a person that paints a lot of the IKEA style furniture, or you get in a lot of the French provincial furniture, a lot of like the 1970s French provincial stuff that used to come from the Sears and Roebuck's catalog. I had a set of that in the 70s when I was a kid. It was beautiful. I loved it. And you see a lot of those coming up now at estate sales or on the side of the road, Facebook Marketplace. Those have very, very slick finishes. And so what you would want to do is if you get a lot of that furniture to paint, then I would recommend that you use the gray, because you're not going to lose your place as you are doing your pro stick. So it is very, it's amazing to me, and I know that I'm blessed. I've got a lot of toys in my studio, but I also know that a lot of people watching, they're doing one or two pieces. They're doing something for their kids, their grandkids, great-grandchildren, and so you may be on a budget. And so just look at what you're painting most, and if you have to get one or the other, just think to yourself, what kind of pieces am I painting? Am I painting the IKEA pieces? Then I need gray. If I'm painting stuff that has a wood veneer, like you're picking up a lot of the, okay, nobody has them anymore, but the TV armoires that are wood grain, they look wood grain, but they're veneer. And you're picking up a lot of those to do. The white is perfectly fine if that's what you're using most of all, what you're painting on most of all. Just because you want to get the most out of what you're buying. I am in no way saying that you need to have both the gray and the white in your arsenal. Now, also what you can do, if you have the white and you get in a piece of white IKEA furniture and you're like, Crysta, I'm a baller on a budget and I can't afford to get both. If you get the white and you get in a white piece of furniture, no more than 1 to 2 drops of paint, and you can mix it in and tint it, but no more than 1 or 2 drops of paint, just enough for you to see the difference. So if you are wondering and you're thinking, well, maybe I should go with the white, and you do happen to get in a piece of furniture that is like the French Provincial or the IKEA, I've got a brush here. Come on. Get out of, get. Tell me this isn't just me. And you got to chase it all over the piece of furniture to get it. You know what? Me and you gonna fight. I'm bigger than you. Ha ha. Okay. I'm gonna just put that right there, and then I can go back and get that right. Anybody else have to chase brush hair sometimes? It happens. So I'll get to questions and comments here in just a minute. Just know that Sue, like I said, I am prepping this to go to the Waco with us for a piece that Sue and I can do some demos on. And that's what you're going to be seeing me doing the next couple of weeks, is a lot of prep as I work on pieces for Sue and I to take to Waco with us. So excited that my girl Sue is coming. We get to be weird together for 11 days. 11 days, guys. Sue and I are going to be together 11 days. So make sure that I get all of my little crevices, my nooks and my crannies. Again, I sound like that English muffin commercial. Oh. So I haven't decided if this is going to be like a cross between like a punk girl shabby chic, or if this is going to be gothic princess. Haven't decided yet, but that's where I'm heading with it. Kat says she wishes she could be there. Renee says next year she's coming. Renee says, yes, hate them. I use the edge of my chip brush and flicker it as I call it a few names. Girl, do you know what I just had to do not to say a few names while I was live? Anyway, zip ties and duct tapes. Two great inventions. Yes, they are. Sorry, trying to get back there. I'm spreading you around in my group space, won't let me tag you. Oh, it's all right. It happens. I know that I cannot tag myself in my descriptions for some reason. So I can tag everybody else, all the other content creators I can tag. But, you know, Facebook is wonky. And that's what they do. They got to keep us on our toes. And so I am thinking that I don't know. I don't think that I am going to paint the interior. So I'm just going to make sure that I get this lip and keep going. And Ford keeps inching closer and closer. Remember when he was way over there? Now he's right there. He keeps inching. Mama! He's a mama's boy. Just the way I like him. So we're just, like I said, going along, and just that's all we're doing today is doing the Pro Stick. Again, thin. 2 thin coats is perfect on these for me. Seems to be the general consensus with Chastity and Renee as well. And making sure that I get into those corners really well. A lot of times your corners, and you also have to think about your piece as where is the main wear and tear going to come on. Your main wear and tear areas is definitely where you want, that's not coming off. All right. Is definitely where you want to make sure that you hit that areas, those areas really, really well with your Pro Stick. But I like to just make sure that I get it good all over. That way I don't have to worry about it. But I do pay very, very close attention to when I take the hardware off, I make sure that I hit the area around where my hardware was. I make sure that that gets a lot of attention because I know people's hands are going to be hitting it. I also like to make sure that around the legs make sure that that gets extra attention and that it is all good there. Just because I know people are going to be walking up. We've got dogs and they are going to be possibly kicking it, walking through the house. And you know how furniture likes to jump out at you in the middle of the night and toe check you? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You have all been there where furniture has jumped out in the middle of the night and checked you and been like, I'm here. And so I make sure that my corners, the legs, and around where my hardware is absolutely protected because I know that those are going to be the areas that are going to get the most wear and tear. And so if you're going to miss an area with your Pro Stick, which happens, I have absolutely Pro Sticked a piece, come back the next day and been like, I forgot the inside of that entire leg. And you just break out your Pro Stick and hit it again. After you laugh at yourself for about 10 minutes. After you laugh at yourself, you break out the Pro Stick and you hit those little legs or wherever you missed. And I know that I have missed this entire area because I have got to get this knob off. Get you guys down a little bit. I have to get this knob off, but it is like one of the weirdest little contraptions. It's almost like they made their own lock for this. And I got to figure out how to get that off because that is like nothing I have ever seen before. 30 some years. Again, I did my first piece of furniture when I was 16 and I am almost 51. So it's been a few years and I have never seen anything like that. One of the fun things about being a furniture artist is when you see all of these pieces of furniture and you go, what in the world is that? You're always seeing things and the way that things are manufactured, or somebody has gotten it in and did a home thing, made something, and you're like, I have never seen that before. I know for a fact that that is not anything factory. That was something that somebody made for their little locking system. And it's a weird one. Never seen anything like that before. So I will come back after I am done, after we're off the live, and I will try to figure out how to get that off there. Never seen anything like that. Ford, honey. Mama needs some space, baby. You keep creeping over. And so we are on the third side. Like I said, it doesn't take very long to Pro Stick an entire piece. Now, this is a smaller cabinet piece. It's very cute, but it is a smaller piece. Oh, somebody said I usually see what I missed while loading the finished product. And Renee says, yes, laugh out loud. Me too. I've done that as well. When I was working in one of my previous studios, my husband and my son it was time to deliver. And, natural light is amazing. And I was working in a very dark studio space and I missed an entire area. They were loading it up and the paint it looked so good when I was photographing it. And I was so proud. And they went to load it up and my husband walks in. He says, baby, you need to look at that piece. And I'm like, did y'all drop it? What's wrong? He's like, no, you just need to come look. And I said, okay. And I went out there and yes, once you got it out into the direct light, into the sunlight, there was an area that was painted so thin. And I was like, I called the customer and I said, I'm sorry, I'm not letting this go out the door like this. And I told them they could only take delivery on the weekend. And so I told them that it would be the next weekend. And we went out that afternoon when I was working in that studio space and got shop lights and all sorts of lights. And so even headlamp, I even was wearing a headlamp because in the light that I was in, it looked amazing. But as soon as it got out into really bright light, you could see it. And I was like, no. So I did. I spent the whole next week getting that up to my standards before I would let it leave the shop. So definitely have been there too, loading up a piece and it not being up to standard and you miss a spot. So I'm blaming it on the lights. I'm just going to blame it on the lights. So let me get to comments real quick because I'm almost done for today. Oh, everyone's saying hi, Kat. And hey, Karen. Karen Shelton is on. All right, so I'm up to date on comments. Want to thank you guys. Just remember that there is a 20% off code this month. I think it's extra 20. If not, if I didn't do it right, then please, please, please go back and look in the description. I know that I put it in the description. And if you are a retailer or a home studio partner for Miss Lillian's, please put a link to your Facebook page in so everyone can find you, so they can be following you as well and seeing all the cool stuff that you are doing. Sorry, ladies, I usually say that closer to the beginning of the video, but I have just been running my mouth and going. So we do have some tickets available that we will be giving away. Be sure to be following my Litter to Glitter page. We'll be giving away a set of tickets for the Waco Crafting Convention on Thursday. So on Painting with Whiskey and Women. So be sure to be following that. I'm so excited that Miss Lillian's is sponsoring the booth. And they are providing all of the paint and so much more for the booth and the classes that Sue and I will be teaching at the Waco Crafting Convention. So if you know somebody in the Waco area that is a crafter and you would like to get them tickets, make sure that they are tuning in Thursday. We will be giving away 2 free day passes, and you can pick what day you want, whether it be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and you'll be able to come in for free. So guys, I am Crysta with Litter to Glitter, a furniture artist out of Berry, Texas, reminding you that no matter what you do, no matter what you paint, it's only paint, and you can paint over it, and it'll be a good day. So I'm going to get over here, and I'm going to figure out this contraption that's on this door. And I will see you guys on Thursday on Painting with Whiskey and Women. And I will be back here next Tuesday with another video for you guys. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments. And we will see you guys soon. Much love. Bye, guys.